right, we are live. It's another day here in sunny side Dubai. This was our usual Unfiltered chat, your weeklies on crypto, blockchain, AI. And not much is going on, but the only big one I guess I'm sort of interested in is Javier Milei.
Yep.
He saw this, libertarian heartthrob, I guess like libertarian darling. And I know it's kind of crazy. He's gonna, not sure whether he's connected with a meme coin. But he did post about it. They deleted it. Like, I mean, what's the situation? Is it him or is it his team? But somebody messed up, and someone posted his sister's picture or something. She kind of reminded, like, she kind of looked like, was it Sam Bankman-Fried's girlfriend? So there was that, that Twitter trail going on. I mean, it definitely is crazy, but obviously that, what we are talking about is a Libra meme coin.
Yeah.
Man, that is one of the largest pump and dump. I guess in crypto history, or this year maybe.
Maybe just this year, yeah, because I think there have been some much larger pump and dump in history as well. EOS, I think, is definitely one of the biggest pump and dump. No questions asked.
Fair enough. Yeah. I guess we could. Yeah, that's true. I agree on that. So yeah, it was launched on Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2025. It was up by 400%.
Yep.
And dumped by over 90%. So definitely, of course, being the president of Argentina, there's calls for his impeachment. I don't know if that's possible, but definitely it's a lot of drama. And let's see. Then we got the CEO of Kelsia Ventures. No idea about this venture. Mm-hmm. Hayden Davis allegedly claimed in text messages that he could control President Milei by making payments to Milei's sister, Karina Milei, a key figure in his government.
Yeah, a lot of drama.
Wow, what's that all about, Judd? What is going on, man?
A lot of drama. I mean, what coincides with this date is, Markose. We talked about this in our Unfiltered chat last week as well. Hester Pierce, who is the Commissioner for Security and Exchange Commission, she actually said that so far as meme coins are concerned, it does not fall under the Security and Exchange Commission's jurisdiction. So it is Congress which has to decide what jurisdiction it falls into. Will it fall under CFTC? I'm really not sure. But the Congress has to decide. And this happened on the 13th of February, if I'm not mistaken. And the very next day, the president of Argentina went ahead and launched his meme coin. Now, I personally did not see the tweet because I do actually follow him on Twitter. I could not see his tweet, but looks like there was an official tweet regarding the Libra token. And it did actually pump up, as we lightly mentioned, by 400% in just a matter of 24 hours. But it did dump down by 90% as well. Now, whether we like it or not, Markose, meme coins, I don't think so it should be a problem. It depends on how you've gone and launched it. And, even Trump's meme coin, if you actually look at it, he has probably some of the world's best lawyers. Legally, they're perfectly fine. The responsibility lies on us. And the so-called KOL, as how you like to call it, LOL, they try to go ahead and manipulate the market. And so-called influencers, they are the ones who are actually notoriously trying to pump these meme coins. So legally, I think so. It should be perfectly fine. And a lot of his opposition party, they want to go ahead and impeach it. And I don't think so he'll be impeached for it. I think this thing will just slide down. And a lot of drama is going on, regarding
him. But George, I gotta say, in terms of, the people who are bought into the Libra meme coin, it's kind of interesting, Libra, but it's not like as if, a lot of Argentinians have bought these meme coins or something. I mean, this sounds like a lot of Americans, a lot of people in the West have bought this meme coins, so, they're the ones who are getting into the action, not really Argentinians. I mean,
True.
Again, if you're talking about Argentina, whose economy is not the greatest, obviously, it's been down in the gutter, but it is coming up. It is coming up, but I don't know, but I have to say that I don't think this warrants Javier Milei to be impeached. I mean, there are
Yeah,
many other cases where he could be impeached.
yeah,
I mean, like serious cases, So, but I think it's going to be a goofy attempt
yeah.
from the opposition. So,
I don't think so. Anything
but
is going to happen, to be completely honest. And Marcus, you
yeah,
touched base upon regulations. I do remember about you talked about that a lot of Americans were actually buying the Libra token. You could be right, because I just remembered when El Salvador Marcos made Bitcoin a legal tender, and President Nayib Bukele, who I absolutely love by the way, he did have an X Spaces, or Twitter Spaces it was called back then. But the Twitter Spaces were not for people in El Salvador. It was for high net worthy individuals in America. So people are questioning, why are you having Twitter Spaces for Americans and not for people in El Salvador, which was a bit bizarre and strange, isn't it?
yeah, I guess so. But again, you're talking about Bitcoin, right? So some of the biggest holders,
Yeah.
I guess maybe from an individual perspective, tend to be Americans, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's started in America, and in terms of like the ones who are driving the Bitcoin adoption and stuff, it's not really El Salvadorans, it's really Americans. I mean, whether you're talking about this, I mean, it's kind of questionable whether if you're debating, either you're talking about like cypherpunks or social libertarians or other Americans and stuff. But I mean, they're the ones who are talking about Bitcoin Beach and stuff. So I think to me it makes it makes a whole lot of sense, because I mean, they're the ones who are really fighting for Bitcoin adoption, crypto adoption, all that good stuff. So, while El Salvadorians, I mean, they're focusing on what's happening over there. So I mean, I guess that's my take on it. So, I mean, to me, it kind of makes sense. And of course, if you want the Freedom Passport, the Freedom Initiative, you invest $1 million in BTC, you get a El Salvadorian passport. So hey, and it makes a lot of sense, because especially there is a segment of Americans who are trying to get different passports, different residences. They want to go to places where they're treated best. Taxation is not the greatest in the United States. There's so much going on. So what? I think that's multi-dimensional, multifaceted, and I see why it makes a lot of sense for him to come on X Spaces. So
if I'm not mistaken, even Tether, they are planning to move their headquarters to El Salvador as well. So definitely.
Ding, ding, ding. There you go. Look, I mean, guys, this Tether. Look, come on, the most profitable company in the world. This one, I mean, it has the how do you say?
The largest holding of treasuries, I think so, right?
Treasury, right? And I mean, it's just playing one of the most important roles in our industry. If they're going to El Salvador, what? It makes a whole lot of sense why he's coming on X Spaces. Why people are making this big issue about him? Why you come on X Spaces? Blah blah blah. You're only talking to Americans and stuff. Guys, come on,
Now this was years ago.
You gotta have to be
well
smart,
before the pandemic, also. I think so. I think this was well before the pandemic, if I'm not 2018, maybe. I could be wrong, or 2019.
Oh, okay. That still makes sense. I mean,
regarding this news, Marcos, regarding meme coins, the moment Hester Pierce did actually state that meme coins does not fall under the US Security and Exchange Commission jurisdiction, Dubai's VARA, that is Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, they did put out an official statement regarding meme coins. And what they said, that it is unregulated and high-risk nature for meme coins, high-risk nature of meme coins, and there needs to be a lot of legal and regulatory compliance. But one thing which I'm really concerned about is they actually said that access to meme coins or name coin platforms may be restricted without prior notice. So my big question is, what happens if, let's say, if we have Dogecoin or Shiba Inu, and if there is some unfortunate event that is taking place regarding them, what happens to our Dogecoin or Shiba Inu coin? I really am not sure at this point of time what the status of that is. But if you go to the Wise website here.
Yeah, I don't know. I it'll be kind of weird. I don't know. To me, it's just kind of weird to have regulations on meme coin.
Yeah,
Just because it is the way I say it is implicit. Like, it is going to be volatile. There's no really like actual backing behind it. It's really a
it's
currency
a
of the
meme.
culture, really. So, there's memes, so
Yeah.
like there's no like real investments or something like that. So, yeah. So like, I can understand if some of these regulatory bodies make an announcement and stuff, but really try to regulate this thing. Best of luck with this. I mean, like, it's not going to make. I don't know. I don't think it's going to make much sense, really, though. So,
Yeah, and I think
I don't know.
Dubai's
It's
Vara is taking a completely opposite stance to, let's say, what the US Security and Exchange Commission is doing, isn't it? They are saying that it does not fall under SEC, so kind of like do what you want, but Dubai's Vara is saying that it falls under Dubai's Vara's regulatory authority. Marcus, is your internet okay? Because I think there seems to be some problem on my end because my Wi-Fi seems miserably low.
yeah, yeah.
It's giving me an error. I think it is definitely
Yeah, yours is kind of blurry, but
yeah.
I could see you. I could, hopefully, the Wi-Fi spirits can,
Yeah. Hopefully it lasts for this particular session. I've switched off my mobile and everything. But you can hear me, Marcus, right?
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah.
Okay,
But
perfect.
anyways, back to the DOGE thing. I don't know. I guess in terms of meme coins and stuff, like, I don't know. I guess with regards to Vara, my only thing, I I guess my concern is that I don't think these guys uh understand the crypto culture, or what's happening in the space and stuff. I mean, like, they're trying to, because I just feel so like a lazy approach, trying to bring some of the like the old guardrails of regulation into a whole new asset class, a whole new economic system, which, because you're not really actually solving any problems until like that. Like, I don't know, that's like you're trying to bring in some of the old rules in colonial times into our modern era. Like,
Yep.
that's not. I'm sorry, but that's that it's not gonna compute. It's not gonna fit. And yeah, I know. That's just something I'm like. It's it just doesn't make sense. I can understand if you're talking about, like, say, in the area of, like, say, like, staking or something like that, maybe, or you're talking about, like, BTC, BCH, ETH, I mean, Ethereum. I mean, I guess you're talking about that. Yeah, large caps, I get it. But meme coins,
because there's no centralized
I don't
entity
know.
involved, isn't it? As I think the regulation should be effective
Yeah.
when there's a centralized entity involved.
Yeah, and it's an open
Yeah.
protocol, open market. So
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
it's a crime. There's going to be crime is happening, but this, I would have put my resources into regulating the US dollar, where most of the crime is taking place.
Yeah, and
I know
that
a
is
lot of my
exactly
friends
what
in
is
the
going
old
on
fintech
right now.
space.
Yeah.
They don't like me saying that, but the truth is, a lot of the criminality is happening with the US dollar.
Yep.
And then even the I have to stress this, because even like I bring up like the Bank of International Settlements, the BIS. If you guys know anything about the BIS, it's the central bank of all central banks. If they're saying that most of the criminality is happening with the US dollar, only what, $2 or $4 billion happening with crypto, compared to like trillions. I mean, like, guys, like, you guys just cannot handle the truth. So it makes more sense to deal with like the government or the US dollar, the fiat side, than a lot of the crypto stuff. Because when it comes to meme coins, it's open. It's also fair play too.
Yeah.
There are no big VCs who can dump and stuff. When in reality, a lot of the retail, they dump on the VCs. So I mean, it's actually poetic. It's poetic justice to me.
Yeah, 100% agree. And Marcus, you talked about regulating the US dollar. I 100% agree to that. And that is what is going on right now with DOGE. But this is the other DOGE, that is the Department of Government Efficiency. And in the last session, we briefly talked about USAID. But now, Marcus, I'm not sure if you're following what is going on with the Department of Government Efficiency via Twitter or X Space or X. Now, the website last time we talked about that wasn't working, but what our listeners should do is go to doge.gov. The website is working perfectly fine and there are constant updates. And if you actually go through it, it is actually telling you the savings. Now, I personally think, Marcos, it is because of this. There's a temporary panic set, not necessarily with the current administration, but generally with the previous administration as to what is the fraudulent or wasteful spending that is going on. And Marcos, there is a very high possibility that this DOGE department will be implemented in other countries as well. If I'm not mistaken, Turkey, the president of Turkey, he actually likes Elon Musk quite a lot and he might ask him to go and do something similar for Turkey. And I wouldn't be surprised if other countries do that as well. Now, Marcus, I've sent you a list where it talks about social security mismanagement fraud via X Spaces. If you can put that on the screen, that'll be absolutely wicked. And some of them is scary and laughable at the same time as well. Because in the United States of America, you have social security numbers in it. And if you actually see the amount of funds that are going on with the age, yeah, that's the one, Marcus. I think it tells you the age. So there are people who are living apparently in the United States of America who are still alive based on the social security for more than 400 or 500 years and they're still getting paid social security. Which is a massive red flag.
Yeah, totally. Oh my goodness, man, yeah.
So it tells you the age. Did they get the one on social security, Marcus? So that is something.
I'm looking at savings. I mean, do you know where to go through? Because I'm looking at savings.
If you see on the link on the document, I put one link. Because this year.
I have to I have to my phone.
Would it help if I copy paste it on the chat?
Yes. If you can, that'll be fantastic. Yeah. Let's do that.
So, yeah.
Interesting. Real estate. Good. Well, let's see. Where to spend. What we got going on?
Yeah, I sent it on the chat, Marcus.
Oh, you did? All right. Cool. I love it. Yeah, buddy. All right.
This is something really, really scary, to be completely honest. So this tells you the age group of people. If you see the age range, so it says 0 to 8, there are, let's say, 38,625,000. Now here's the crazy thing, Marcus. Look at what is going on after age 80 and 90. You can make an argument that there are 4 million people at the age of 100 to 109. But look at people above the age of 200. So
man, dude, man, like 3.6 million. Man, that's like city of Dubai, bro. Like, what the heck, man?
And the funds are actually going out from the Federal Reserve account, so people are getting paid. So no idea where it is going. Even if you look at 300, so there are people live at the age of
200.
This is scary, isn't it?
Yeah, he's right. Look at it. Like, you're talking about U.S. population, 335 million, right? That is far more eligible Social Security numbers than there are citizens in the United States. This is one of the biggest fraud in history. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
And let me stop sharing this. And I mean, that itself is a big fraud right there, right? And here they want to monitor a lot of the crypto stuff and all. It's happening with the US dollar, guys. It's happening with the US dollar. Why are they targeting the crypto folks when you got the biggest fraud taking place with all this federal spending and stuff? And then you got these bunch of yahoos who all are complain. There are a lot of things I also don't like about Elon or whatever. But you know what? This right here with all the spending and stuff. I mean, it's crazy, and there's some yahoos that are complaining about your egg prices going high and all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. Hold up. there's a whole lot of fraud going on over there. So I mean, that should be like an unveiling, this revelation in front of your eyes that, hey, you know what, like, you got a huge serious problem.
Yep.
So I think it's just a waste of like government resources and stuff where you are hiring all these useless IRS agents,
exactly, yeah,
and all these useless government agencies, when these guys are wasting a lot of money. Like, they're going after, it's easier for them to target poor people, but they're not targeting all these. They start complaining about billionaires and stuff, but the biggest frauds are coming from the government officials and agencies.
And
so I don't know. It's just a weird stake, and it is right in front of your eyes, guys.
And am I right in saying,
anyway, I'm done with my ranting. Sorry.
Am I right in saying that the greatest meme of money is the US dollar? Would I be right in saying that? So
100% agree.
Yeah, and
100% agree.
Yeah, in the last session we talked about that Elon Musk with Vivek Ramaswamy, they were on X Spaces, and they were talking about that with this finding of DOGE that they might be able to save $1 trillion. Now the amount is pumped up to $4.7 trillion. And just few minutes ago, I'm not sure if you have seen the news, President Trump has actually said that what they're planning to do is 20% of that, they will actually try to give it to the citizens of America, which will be roughly around $5,000. And the remaining 20%, Markose, they are going to utilize it to bring down the deficit. So, we talked about the US debt, it's so high. So 20% of that will be used to bring down the deficit. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the outcome to this is. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is, Marcus, because of this, at a macro level, there is a bit of uncertainty in the market, and that is unfortunately the reason why the prices of Bitcoin is not pumping up more than $100,000. And another reason, Marcus, which I did actually find out while I was preparing for today's episode, is the Federal Reserve Board. They had a meeting today as well, and they were preparing the minutes of that meeting. Now, the minutes of the meeting does actually state that the economic condition in US is great, the labor market condition is great. But one of the reasons why this particular minute was important is because based on this and the CPI data and quite a lot of other things, Federal Chair Jerome Powell will be making a decision whether to keep the interest rate, reduce it, or increase it. And he clearly said that in the next FOMC meeting that is scheduled to take place, I believe on the 19th of March, he will go ahead and keep the interest rate the same, which means, Marcus, the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency should definitely be pumping up. So, those are things I thought, let's go ahead and touch base. So, if you're someone who's worried about the prices, I think things are definitely looking good. And the next key date to look at is the 19th of March. And I'm pretty much sure that will directly and indirectly impact the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. But and the final thing I wanted to touch base is for some of them who are detractors of Elon Musk and who are saying that, he has his personal interest. One news which mainstream media is not covering is that Trump has actually cancelled Elon Musk's contract for $400 million, and this happened on Tuesday. So, and that was purely because of conflict of interest. So, he has an interview with Sean Hannity. You should definitely check it out. So, yeah, Elon Musk has actually lost $400 million worth of contract, which was actually signed by the Biden administration because Trump does not like electric vehicles as such. So, he was like, no, we can't. And they were planning to use the electric vehicles for military purposes. And in one of the interviews, 6 months ago, Trump called that as the most stupid idea because let's say if you're in a war and if your charger goes out, you can't go to find an electric charger during the war zone, isn't it? So you
or get hit with an EMP attack. That's, yeah. And I think we might be pissing off some of these ESG folks.
Yep.
Which I don't care. Which I really don't care.
No,
but go on, Dan.
This week, Marcus, I talked to you via Telegram as well that I could not get much information this particular week from the world of Bitcoin cryptocurrencies as such. The only other news which was worthwhile discussing is that in Hong Kong, Marcus, they are launching a Hong Kong-backed stable coin. Now, we know that UAE is launching a stable coin with Tether USDT, which is going to be backed by Dirham. So Hong Kong is going to be launching a Hong Kong-backed stable coin, and there's Standard Chartered Bank, Animoca brands in Hong Kong Telecommunications as well. And they've applied for license, so most likely it'll be approved and we might see a stable coin that is backed by Hong Kong dollar as well.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. And other thing which I'm not sure, Marcus, in the world of AI, I'm not sure if you've seen Grok 3, which is by XAI.
Yeah.
I think it just got launched day before yesterday at night. And
yeah, just 2 days ago. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's what? Grok 3 now supposedly is the smartest AI on Earth. It's 10 times smarter, I would say. Not smarter, sorry. Actually, 10 times more computational power than the previous one, Grok 2. So I guess, obviously, it's outperforming, your usual ChatGPT 4, Google's Gemini, and of course, DeepSeek as well.
Yeah.
So, which is interesting. So, I guess, I'm sure there have been some, these, competition markers or whatever, like in terms of areas of focus, like mathematics, science, coding, using synthetic data, which is really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of possibilities. Self-correction mechanisms, that's interesting. And reinforcement learning for superior performance. So, and also the best, but I think what's interesting is with Grok 3, it's not open source. It's not really a big deal, I guess, as still it's in the beta phase.
Yeah.
But the source code will be open source, so that's...
Yeah. And this might happen probably in the next few days. So Grok 2, the source code is completely open source. So how Elon Musk is doing is that whenever the new version is out, the previous version gets completely open source. Or maybe after the beta phase is when the source code gets completely open source. But yeah, and since the last 24 hours, I'm just using Grok 3. But it is a paid one, you can't get access to it if you do not have a subscription. So you need to have a subscription to go and use Grok 3.
So subscription as in like, what's the procedure? You have to be on Twitter, right? You have to have the X Twitter app and pay the premium.
Yeah.
And you have to pay, because what are the different tiers, or just,
they have premium.
Not many people use sorry, go ahead.
They have premium and they have another one. I'm not sure what the other one is.
Premium Plus, I guess.
Premium Plus, something of those lines,
Okay. I got you. Okay. So if you have access to, say, just the premium tier, you have access to using Grok 3?
Yeah. And one of the cool features, I'm not sure, Markose, if this is available in another AI platform, is that let's say you ask it to create an image. Now, if you want to go ahead and increase the quality of it, like the pixels and nits, it can go ahead and do that also. And you just type in, can you make this image much more clear and much more refined? That's what I haven't seen that at least yet.
Okay. I have to check my Venice.ai because I have the pro version, and it has like a couple of
options to increase the quality of the image or something, right?
Couple of models. Here, let me just share my screen. Bang.
Because I play for a band, Marcus, and I did try to create a band logo, and surprisingly it was pretty good. And, try to go ahead and ask it to increase the pixels as well. Make it much more clear.
Images. Okay, so yes, I have like all this Fluently, Excel, Final, Flux Custom, Lustify, the uncensored one.
Stable, and this is 49 dirhams, isn't it, Marcus, per month, or in terms of
this one is $18 a month.
So it comes around 60 to 70 dirhams, okay, around that.
Okay, so if you go like monthly, it's like $18 a month for the pro. So you have this private API access for Explorer tier, your points, unlimited prompts, no image watermark, high resolution images, custom font. But if you go like yearly, it's $149 a year. Not bad. Yeah. But the thing is, I need to make use of like one of the things I want to make use of is to learn how to prompt better, because especially one of the skill sets that you need, especially the commencement of the AI age, is critical thinking and be able to ask the right questions to AI. Whether it's Grok 3 or whether it's Venice.ai or whether it's with DeepSeek and stuff, how do you create prompts? How do you ask questions? And also what is interesting is that the president of OpenAI gave a really good example of what is a good prompt. So let me see. President of OpenAI. Am I sharing? Oh, sorry, my bad. There you go. All right. So there you go. So yeah, this is Greg Brockman. So he basically shows the anatomy of what a prompt is. What is your goal? How do you want the AI to, answer it, and also some negatives, and then you provide the context. So it's kind of like, it's really interesting, defining the goal. Hey, because, these LLMs, obviously, they know a million ways to complete a task, but, having a clear goal does narrow things down, for the AI. So it's kind of interesting, like what's the format you want to be returned, providing context. So, the reason I state that is that, I don't know about you, because I think normally people are using these AI tools, and someone like me is not. I have not been able to use it properly, but I use it a lot, but not efficiently, not in a creative way. But I think it's I think it's kind of it's eminent for us to learn some of this stuff. So hey, I'm trying to showcase that, hey, what, I think there's a lot going on. So but yeah, I thought it was pretty cool to share.
Yeah, in fact, I wanted to share personal experiences as well, Marcus, because I have an electronic drum kit which I brought roughly around 3 months ago. And this electronic drum kit, what you can do is you can connect it to your laptop, and then you can have different sound attached to it. Trust me, Marcus, I tried to use an app called as Contact Player with Reaper. Me personally, I tried to do it, and it took me more than 2 months, and I could not figure it out how to do it. And it was so frustrating because you need to take teeny tiny bits of pieces and connect it on the screen. But it was absolutely frustrating, and trust me, Marcus, believe it or not, I just used ChatGPT 4 and I used the prompts, got it done in just a matter of 20 minutes. And regarding the crypto trends, Marcus, I mean, there is not much going on. The volume of stablecoins is ridiculously low, considering the fact that the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is going down. It would be great if the volume of stablecoins was higher. But not much to cover from a cryptocurrency and blockchain point of view. But I thought, Marcus, let's go ahead and discuss, what do you think is important? Does blockchain technology need artificial intelligence? Or does artificial intelligence need blockchain technology? What is your say regarding this?
Yeah, I get. I think for me it's because AI is such a centralizing tech. There are privacy concerns. There is censorship. There is also this it's black box. So from my standpoint, I would say AI does need blockchain. I mean, if you ask me last year, does AI need blockchain? In many cases, I would have said no, on the basis of just because of the AI narrative. But now we are seeing a thing or two. A good example, if you use the DeepSeek model and you ask about Chinaman facing the tank on Tiananmen Square, there's no response whatsoever. But it's kind of funny when I see some Americans talk about, it's more made from China. But then, if you use Llama, I guess, let's say it's or any other US-based models or whatever, there are if you mention about, say, like Trump or something, for example, it doesn't give answers to, and it also doesn't give the right answers to. Even though we talk about some religious stuff too, definitely, there is plenty of censorship. So I guess in this case, I guess there is, I would say, AI does need blockchain in terms of I guess if you're trying to bring transparency to the AI value chain, and also in terms of, I would say like, AI would also need crypto or blockchain for handling crypto payments. Like I definitely don't see an AI agent have a bank account. The only way you could transfer value via the internet is through Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies.
Yep.
So, I know there is so much to cover.
I have a completely different.
But yeah, but I guess anyway, I can't think of anything else. But George, I love your take. Your take on things. So
I think blockchain technology still has limitations, especially now. And when you talk about blockchain technology as such, when you talk about token distribution, it is just another way of just another way of covering centralizations. Because some of these blockchain protocols, if you look at the governance tokens, certain cases 40%, 60%, or 90% is given to the founders, and that is another way of covering centralization. But what you're saying does make a lot of sense, particularly with what is going on in Germany right now. Because Germany, they want to go and censor people for making fun of politicians as well. And there's an interview with 60 Minutes. It's absolutely scary. It's definitely worth checking that thing out.
Totally. But my goodness. Yeah.
Now, Marcus, at this point of time, I really am not sure if blockchain is a solution. So I'm going to take a different stance in saying that blockchain
Go for it.
definitely needs AI, but AI does not need blockchain technology. And according to me, Marcus, and a lot of people would hate me for this, I think that AI will work better if it is done under centralized decision-making entity. When you talk about updates, let's say, things like switching from Grok 2 to Grok 3, I do think it would work much better on a centralized system. And more importantly, if it is centralized, Marcus, we can have better service and quality. In the blockchain world, there is no customer service or support, isn't it? And if you look at the user experience, it is absolutely horrendous. Once, let's say, blockchain is able to solve the blockchain trilemma problem, that is scalability, security, and decentralization, which some of the projects claim they have solved it. But if you look at the finer details, most of them are either in testnet phase, and it's still a couple of months or years before actually able to truly solve the blockchain trilemma problem. And one thing which I touched base upon earlier on regarding Grok, Markos, I think, let's say if the source code is completely open source, that solves 90% of the problem. And I don't think so there's use case of, AI for blockchain technology. I think blockchain technology needs artificial intelligence. That is my honest opinion, and I'm pretty much sure a lot of them would not like it. But what I wanted to touch base is, let's talk about areas where blockchain needs artificial intelligence. And the first thing, Marcos, I can think of is writing codes. And, all of our codes is written in GitHub, isn't it? And there was a report that was published in mid of 2023, which talks about that 46% of the code was written by users, was actually done by Copilot and AI generated. And the CEO of GitHub did actually state that the percentage will rise eventually to 80%. So when you're talking about codes written using AI, all you can do is go to ChatGPT or maybe Grok and just ask them to write a code or review the codes that you're actually doing for your project. So that is one area I feel that blockchain needs artificial intelligence and AI does not need blockchain technology. What are the areas, Marcos, you think?
Okay.
One thing which
sure. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, my bad. I think there's a slight delay.
Me personally, I would like to see a stable coin which is written 100% by artificial intelligence, and this particular stable coin in a futuristic world should be an algorithmically backed stable coin. Now, one of the reasons why people are detractors of algorithmically backed stable coin is because of the whole Terra Luna collapse. And even Dubai Swara, I think I tagged you on the LinkedIn post, Marcos, where the CEO of Dubai Swara was saying that, they have put a very strong stance against algorithmically backed stablecoin, which I think is kind of wrong. But let's say if you have AI write the entire code, maybe even manage the whole burning mechanism and everything, I do think it is a perfect use case for algorithmically backed stablecoin. And that, to be honest, would be much better than a centralized entity issuing stablecoin. But what about smart contract auditing, Marcus? I'm pretty much sure there's use case of AI in that, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's already is.
Yeah.
I would say, look, a good shout out is to my buddy Basu from Data Secure.
Mm-hmm.
So he's one of our partners in this Human AI X Alliance. So he has written code actually for kind of like an AI program to audit smart contracts. So yeah, he has done that. So there is that use case, and I guess just want to remind folks, like when it comes to like AI, AI is not going to replace the menial jobs. I think where AI, I mean, just for those who are new, and I know, like, I know, Joe, I'm sure you've been asked, how AI is going to affect, the future of work, right? So the way I see it is that it will affect jobs that require pattern recognition. Now, what I mean by that, so I'm sure, we've talked about smart contracts or trading, crypto trading, stock trading platforms. Or if you're like a radiologist, you're looking for patterns or something, so you're trying to recognize some stuff. I think AI can do that, and it's going to replace a lot of the high-level jobs.
Yes.
Actually, because a lot of these high-level jobs require pattern recognition, requires experience. So the only time AI would need help is for very rare cases where instead of, say for example, if there is some let's use the number 1 and number 7. By design is almost similar, right? Like, so I mean, if you look at the
looks of it, right?
By the looks of it. So in those cases, there's a high rate of confusion. That is where AI will, pass their work to, instead of like some guy who just finished university, hey, send it directly to a senior radiologist or a senior trader or something. Hey, what is this pattern? Is it a 1 or is it a 7? That's only time. Otherwise, like a lot of jobs, I think which requires high pattern recognition, they would be replaced. So that's my take on it. That's like just wanted to share this. So yeah, I think this is where AI can play a role, and similar to smart contracts, because there is a lot of patterns. There are a lot of ways you can recognize, hey, whether this code is good or this code is bad.
Yeah.
So yeah. So but obviously there's going to be I guess a hybrid approach when it comes to auditing. So you'll have humans involved, but I would see more like senior auditors,
yeah.
Checking it out and stuff, make sure there's some finer detail, because there's a lot of things AI cannot detect and stuff. So again, it's all from the for those who are new to the AI space. To me, AI in a grand scheme of things is just one big complicated Excel sheet. It's all about relationships, like nodes and links, right? Okay, me and George, we both are nodes. What's the link with each other? We both are friends. We both are podcasters. We both are this. We both are connected to somebody else. The only difference is that instead of one row and one column, you have like quadrillion, rows and columns, right? So imagine that. So AI is not something new. It goes back to the 50s and 60s. The only difference between that time and now is that we have more computational power. Honestly, that's it. So, So there's just something I want to share with you guys, because the reason I bring that up is I'm so George, we are on LinkedIn, we're on Twitter, we are seeing so many people talk about AI, but I would say 90, I'm being too nice, 90% really have no idea what they're talking about. So, so so I just want to encourage people, do not get fugazi, do not be fooled with all the complications. If you really imagine this it's really a spreadsheet. It's all about the nodes and links, the relationships between one node to another node, and you have these layers of information. So you have these semantic layers and neural networks and stuff. It's just really spreadsheets upon spreadsheets, and we just need massive computational power, which is a whole nother topic, by the way. So this is where, I guess for the next session, we'll talk about Grok 3, how much our computational power needs, new chips, new cooling patterns and all that stuff, which we'll dive into later. So, so don't be fooled by a lot of the complicated, talking points and stuff. So it's
one area where I think, Markose, where blockchain needs artificial intelligence, and this is possibly an area of DAO, that is decentralized or distributed autonomous organization. Could it be possible that one team or a group of people or group of I'm not even sure if it will be AI agents that is managed purely by artificial intelligence? And one of the reasons why I want to think of that AI as a co-worker is because one of the biggest boxing fights, Markose, that did actually take place last year was between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, one of the biggest fight. And usually they have humans as judges, but this was the very first time they actually had an AI as a judge as well. And it was a pretty close fight. And the AI judge got it absolutely spot on. And even at the post-conference, they were asking questions, hey, you know what? Because Tyson Fury wasn't happy with the decision, and they said, they asked him a question. Even the AI judge had, Alexander Usyk winning the round convincingly. And he was like a bit baffled on that as well. So are we heading towards an area where even in the sporting industry, they're using AI as a judge? But what about decentralized autonomous organization? Could it be part of a DAO? Maybe 10%, 20%, 30%, or could it actually eventually take over the DAO? I'm not sure if AI agent is the right word for that, but maybe certain decision making is actually done by AI. That is an area which I think blockchain technology needs artificial intelligence. And other than that, when you talk about decentralized finance, Markose, decentralized finance, the user experience is absolutely horrendous. I do think if you have virtual assistant, you can do 24/7. That is definitely an area which can be done by AI.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah, I think in that area, because it gets complicated pretty fast, right?
Yeah.
So having an AI agent to help a human being, navigate, the complexities when it comes to, DeFi. Yeah, you have the high rates and all that stuff, but because it comes with a lot of complexity. So, so this is where you need AI agents to help, resolve, help navigate navigate all the stuff, navigate the complexities, and not take away too much of your time and your brain power. So that's one area. But I'll just add that in terms of where blockchain can really play a role is a lot of the infrastructure stuff, particularly when it comes to I guess storing your data. This is one way. How you store your data sets, how you shard the data and stuff in a way that maximizes security and also privacy. And also one of the most untouched areas is, again, not many people talk about is, training the AI, and especially you need human verified data Llama, DeepSeek is all built on millions of human beings who have been doing the boring work. The most unsexy part about AI is data labeling. So, and if you need fresh data, the only way, AI can be better, it needs fresh data, is coming from actual human beings. So this is where one of the use cases is is it possible for AI to train another AI agent? Yeah, that there's a possibility too. But of course, there is going to be a need for human verified data, and this is where blockchain can play a role.
Yeah. So sorry to digress, Markose, because I think that falls into an area where AI needs blockchain, and that is something which we'll talk about later on. Because right now the points that we are discussing is where blockchain needs AI.
Oh, okay.
I think,
okay.
I think the first points you mentioned later on.
Okay. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Oh, sorry. All right.
Yeah. So when you talk about, the areas where blockchain needs artificial intelligence, I think we can talk about, let's say, predictive analysis of market trends, particularly, let's say, for traders, or people who are managing portfolio, they can use artificial intelligence in the blockchain space.
Oh, by far, yeah,
And,
yeah.
Yeah, and they can also,
that's
what
true.
AI can do is, for traders, they can also look at things not connected to the cryptocurrency world. Let's say things like USAID or the DOGE, or maybe pandemic or any particular war, or even central bank digital currency. And AI can tell traders in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space how it could potentially impact the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now, one question which I wanted to ask Markose is regarding blockchain needing artificial intelligence, and this is regarding identity verification and KYC processes. Now, my question to you is, Markose, would you feel safe and peace of mind if, let's say, AI is having your KYC? This is in the world of, let's say, real-world asset tokenization, because right now the whole narrative is regarding RWA tokenization, and we need to go ahead and do your KYC. Would you be comfortable, Markose, doing your KYC, let's say, with a human being or entirely with an AI?
I don't know. Sorry.
Bless you, Markose.
Sorry, excuse me. Yeah. I don't know. I guess when it comes to like the KYC stuff, I mean, to me, I wouldn't care. I mean, like, it makes no difference whether it's like human or AI. It depends on the parameters and stuff. But like all you mentioned about like traders and managing portfolio, KYC processes and stuff. A lot of it's all based on AI is going to make an impact is because it's all based on pattern recognition. Mm-hmm. So if we can recognize, hey, something wrong with this particular ID, doesn't really match as well. There's a pattern to it. I think this is so. I mean, I guess the devil is in the detail. How they store this data, where it's located, and also who's again, like, and it's not like what do you say, like this AI is going to be independent. Like, I mean, there is someone who is controlling it, so in some form or the other. So that kind of lays a lot of questions. Not sure. Maybe if there's some sort of like a zero knowledge proof behind it. Yeah, I guess so. But I guess the human side of me is like still apprehensive. So I guess my human basic prime instincts will tell me not to trust it. So yeah.
And
I mean, if I was given a
I
like
do
an
want
ultimate,
to share
yes or
one
no.
actual real use case, and this is a relative of mine. My relative of mine did actually have scanned copies, gave it to the person. The other person submitted it and uploaded it and formally submitted it. It was actually for a visa process, but that particular person forgot to upload 3 important documents, because of which the visa got rejected. So
wow.
I was just thinking, let's say had this thing been done, let's say by AI, I'm pretty much sure that human error would not have been there, isn't it? And this was for the
that guy could have had an AI co-pilot, like a co-worker.
So maybe the AI co-pilot.
You would think they would have that, right?
Yep. Maybe that AI co-pilot could have said that, hey, there's something still missing. You need to go and upload another. So there were 3 documents that were not added as an attachment, basic thing. So that was one use case. Now, Markose, we touched based on areas where blockchain needs artificial intelligence. Now, let's talk about areas where AI needs blockchain technology. And this is, let's say, projects, let's say, like Grok, or let's say even Oort Foundation. One classic use case is, let's say, funding. You can raise fund using cryptocurrency, something classic ICO, isn't it? Rather than going to the traditional fiat currency. One of the areas where AI needs blockchain is maybe go and release an ICO, or maybe even a security token offering. You can also go and offer transparency, and this transparency can be done. You can show that the decision making done in AI is completely transparent. Right now, as you talked about, any decision making is only by selected individuals, but even the decision making, let's say the board meeting, we can go ahead and make it completely open source. Now, we talked about subscription, Markose, and he showed me the subscription regarding Venus. What about the subscription if you can actually pay it in cryptocurrencies? So rather than paying it in fiat, what if you can, let's say, pay it with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency? And that is the area where AI needs blockchain technology, isn't it?
Oh, I guess in payments, yeah, sure, yeah. I guess we covered that. I think a lot of people have covered that. Like,
yep.
I think there's a lot of, and I guess the question, I guess the the question is like, would it use, Bitcoin, or would it use like some other crypto, or would it use like, privacy coins? That's some discussion I've seen like on X Spaces, which I thought was really interesting. So, I mean, for me, I'm more line of, like, privacy coins like Monero, Zano, maybe Zcash too. I mean, just because of the nature of the space, and, if you set up the parameters of, like protecting your privacy, and, like ensuring that, you're not leaking all that data information out there, it makes sense to use, blockchains that have privacy by default. So, that's something I've seen quite a bit. So I'm on that category. So.
And the good thing about it is that, it is completely traceable as well, so people can validate and check if the subscription has taken place or not, because all transactions are publicly verifiable as well. Now, what about data integrity and tamper-proof for the trails, Markose? Because one of the misconceptions which people have, people say that blockchain is the truth, and unfortunately, the answer to that is no. The information is only as good as the information that is put in, which means if incorrect information is actually put in, it remains in blockchain, or it remains in the blockchain explorer for a very long time. Now, can you go and tamper that? The answer to that is no. So it's so important to understand that the data is only as good as the input. Once it is put, once it gets added onto the block, then it becomes tamper-proof and no one can go and make any changes. Now, regarding Oort Foundation, Markose, I think you guys also deal with verifying the data as well, isn't it? Am I right in saying that? But I remember you guys talking about.
I guess when it comes to, when it comes to like, when it comes to data labeling. So if you go to our Oort wallet, we have, but if you go to the Oort wallet, so we have like, what do you call, like, this thing called, Data Hub. So normally there'll be, I don't know. Sorry, I know my life's not helping. But, we do have like active tasks, and then we also have the validation tasks. So, like we have a group of people, who do the tasks, and then we have other group of people who also validate these tasks, make sure that, hey, this job is done the right way.
Okay.
So, say for example that, hey, one of the tasks is, hey, take a picture of musical instruments. You take a picture of musical instruments. You take a you take, like, one person take a picture of drum, some other person take a picture of a microphone, for some reason. So if you are validating it and you see that, hey, the task is about taking pictures of musical instruments, and you see a picture of a microphone, you can, like say yes or no, and choose no. So there are ways to do that, and, and it gets recorded on the blockchain and stuff. So, so there are ways to do it. So especially even in the current data labeling space, there is a lot of validation that does take place, but it is tedious. It's numerous. It's a lot, and sometimes too, because you need that, because otherwise the quality of the data, goes down. And because you want to make sure that you are providing high quality data that could be used for training the AI models. So this is where, like, all these models like DeepSeek, like Llama, and many others, require millions and millions of, images and audio and data and stuff. Yeah. So, it needs to be done. But even still, then there have been some, verifying issues and stuff because of the current, how the system is structured. So, we have a long way to go, and I think this is where, this is where the blockchain technology, but also the philosophy of decentralization comes in. So it's not just the tech side, but also the decentralization, the philosophy of, like getting a global approach. So this is where, I think, blockchain can make an impact in the AI space. So when it comes to validation.
Especially, and the data are stored, distributed across different networks, isn't it? So it is pretty much impossible to go out and hack any of these things. And
theoretically, yes. Yeah.
The other thing I think of, Marcus, and let me know what your feedback to this is. Let's say when you talk about artificial intelligence merging with blockchain technology, so rather, let's say, than using your email address and password, you go ahead and use your private key and public key to go ahead and access, let's say, Nexus or ChatGPT 4 or even Grok 3.0. The idea sounds great, but what happens, let's say, if your private key is lost? And if you have any funds in your account, in your wallet, then it becomes a massive chaotic thing, isn't it? Which does happen quite a lot. Imagine having, a separate private key and public key for your AI. Imagine having separate for your Ethereum. Imagine having something separate for your, or Bitcoin and quite a lot of other things.
Oh, totally.
You could have one for everything, but what if that one thing gets hacked? Everything is gone. There is no customer service that you can go ahead and approach. So these are some of the dangers as well, of AI merging with blockchain technology. And what I want to do is, Marcus, I want to have a dedicated series where I want to go ahead and discuss, does blockchain technology need artificial intelligence? Or does AI need blockchain technology? And we touched, according to me, Marcus, I don't think so, at least for now. Blockchain technology, AI needs blockchain technology. I think blockchain needs artificial intelligence. And just to summarize some of the points, we talked about why blockchain technology, why blockchain needs AI is because of writing of code, smart contract auditing, maybe AI as co-worker, customer support, fraud detection management, predictive analysis, maybe even for KYC. But so far as AI needing blockchain, you can use it, let's say, for funding, paying for subscription services, data integrity, and it also gives access to everyone. Anyone in the world can go ahead and invest, let's say, in an AI protocol by buying the relevant token. But yeah, I think we've covered pretty much everything, Marcus, for today's session. And sorry about the internet issues. I'm pretty much sure
Nah, it's okay. Hey, look, it happens. Yeah, no.
Any update from your
I got no
spaces?
No, I got no. I guess at the moment, Oort is in the Oort, Mike Robinson, Dr. Max Lee, Basu from Data Secure. They're all in Consensus Hong Kong, and we just made a debut launch of the Human AI X, which is our decentralized AI alliance. So we had speakers from Google Cloud, Aether, and also we just built an alliance of founding members from Holochain, XYO Network. Let me share this.
And one of the great things about alliances, they often create standards as well, isn't it? They create a set of standard protocols, so it becomes easier to go and have interoperability. So I think one of the great things about having a
so I guess we have like IONet, so we have more people coming in. We got like Supermoon, so they are partnering with us, as well as Data Secure in terms of hacker houses. So we have this bus tour, build useful shit tour. We got Oasis, StorageJ. They are one of our storage partners, a great storage partner, by the way. I'm trying to remember this, but StorageJ beat Amazon for a really huge contract in the United States. I just cannot remember the name of the thing. It's a huge company. I don't know whether it's the U.S. government or some big entity, but StorageJ beat Amazon. So it's kind of fascinating. So definitely excited about this. Yep. So the idea with this alliance is not just simply like kind of one of those like legal or regulatory kind of like a approach to things, but here we're trying to get a collaborative effort with different Web3 companies to share technologies between each other and showcase that, hey, Web3 can make an impact in the AI space. So it's about, bringing contribution to the AI space, as well as, bring transparency and also bring also integrity in terms of data. So we'll have more members joining us pretty soon. So we're getting started. So these are some of the pictures here at the Verse, which is a really cool place in Hong Kong. So we we've received quite positive feedback. So this is just like a fresh website or whatever, or like kind of like an initial draft or whatever.
Mhm.
But we will have so it'll get updated. There'll be some news coming up. So I think today, I think in Eastern Standard Time in New York, you will see some big announcements. So yeah, so that's an exciting update from our end, and yeah, there's more to come. So definitely we'll have Mike Robinson, who will join us maybe in the week or two to talk about the Human AI X Alliance, and of course, George, obviously we got to talk about, we have covered, blockchain needs AI. I think definitely we can have those really great conversations about blockchain needs AI versus AI needs blockchain. Yeah. I think that'll be much more fun. Maybe also we could get also Dr. Max Lee if he's available. I know he's traveling quite a lot. Yeah. He's having those discussions actually in Columbia University. So hopefully when his time is free, we could get a Columbia University style conversation about.
That'd be great. Yeah.
AI needs blockchain or blockchain needs AI. So I think it'll be kind of cool.
Details and questions, and I think he's a fantastic speaker. Yeah. He knows this matter in and out. Yeah. So yeah. So I know, like, I've been trying to get these guys because they've been traveling quite a lot. So yeah, I'm hoping we can have that. So because I think it'll be much more educational for us. Yeah. And also we want to share with, guys like folks like you who are listening to us crazy folks out here. So yeah, anyway, that's an update. George, what's happening on your side of the world, sir? Not much. There's not much going on, at least this week so far as Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, things are looking absolutely fat. I did release a second episode on the Bitcoin DXB project, and this is a very basic beginner level as to how you can go ahead and acquire and buy Bitcoin, so listeners can feel free to go ahead and check it out. But other than that, I'm just going for mountain biking. For listeners who are in Dubai or any visitors in Dubai, you should definitely check out this place called Mushraf Park, which isn't too far from the city. I think there's a nearby metro station as well at the other end, and absolutely beautiful location. So I'm going for mountain biking today, tomorrow, and the after 3 days in a row. So trying to get into mountain biking. So, but other than that, things are looking absolutely chill, and hopefully next week we have some really interesting action going on. But yeah, for our listeners, the only thing I can say is, the next day to keep an eye on is the 19th of March, because that is when the FOMC meeting is scheduled to take place. And now at least we know in advance that the interest rate is going to be pretty much the same. So, we can anticipate a little bit of pump in the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. But as we always say, Markose, all past predictions are 100% right, 50% of the time. And yeah, I think this week has been relatively flat pertaining to news as well. All of them are, something which we might anticipate to happen in the next few months, but no concrete news this entire week. But yeah, that's about all, Marcus. Thanks so much for doing this here. And if any of the listeners want to have a healthy debate series, does blockchain need artificial intelligence, or does artificial intelligence need blockchain technology, you're more than welcome to join us on Unfiltered Chat, and we can probably have a discussion on this.
Absolutely. So yeah, thanks folks for joining us, and we gotta go. We got work to do. So y'all be good. Y'all be safe, and we will talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Take care.